I look nice, don't I?
I see you.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Let's go.
Oh man, that's the best one yet.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one.
High school. Yeah.
Hey, Dad. Do you want to talk about what happened earlier?
Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age. Some others don't.
Inside Valley Politics, a fresh perspective on Valley, state, and national political issues. Join us as we feature in-depth interviews and unbiased reporting on topics important to you. Sunday at 9 a.m. on NBC 23.
Right now on NBC 23 today, the final sprint is on as Vice President Kamala Harris travels to battleground states. Plus, the victim of a drunk driver could impact how Texas law approaches the issue of drinking and driving and over-serving alcohol, especially during spring break. Hear how one family is on a mission to save lives. NBC 23 starts now.
From South Padre Island to Rio Grande City, this is NBC 23 News Today.
Good morning and thank you so much for joining us here on NBC 23. I'm Danielle Banda.
And I'm meteorologist Brenda Medina.
Guys, this is a bittersweet day. This is my final day at KVEO. I'm going to talk a little bit about it at the end of the 6 a.m. show. But
okay, yeah. I'm going to tear up.
Tough. It's tough. I've been here a long time, a very long time, many years. As people have come and gone.
Yeah.
I've gone through a lot here. I've started my own show, Valley por Vida.
Yeah, that's right.
It was my baby. I put my heart and soul into it.
You did.
Then you guys welcomed me here on the show in the newscast. And so yeah, it's been crazy. And Brianna, this is my last day. What?
I know it's bittersweet because you work so hard.
Thank you.
You put in the time, you put in the effort, you sacrifice so much with everything that comes with building your own show, working this crazy schedule. And so you deserve this next opportunity, this next chapter. But it's also bitter in the sense that we're going to miss you. We all love working with you, and I can honestly say that from the bottom of my heart. You are so positive, and everyone knows on TV also it just reflects so well, and viewers know that. I constantly get comments that you're such a joy to wake up to, and that's true. And she's such a joy to work with.
Oh my gosh.
And this is for the 6 o'clock, not for the 5.
I know, but yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Of course.
Guys, a lot of
miss
people.
you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I was telling Brianna this earlier. A lot of people just have coworkers. We don't. We have a real TV family from our boss, our general manager, our producer, Alette. She's amazing. Our entire crew, behind the scenes, on air, everywhere. We really are best friends in real life. And we have a group chat, and we share music and memes. And
and we hang out outside of work.
Yes.
And I think it's because this job is so unique within the hours, with the content and what we have to do and our experiences, and I think that's what really brings us all together. And so when we lose someone to the next chapter, the next journey of their lives, it's kind of bittersweet in a sense because we've gone through everything with them, but then we're happy for them because we know that they're moving on to bigger and better things because that's just the business of TV.
I know. And we love each other's families and pets, and it's crazy. But yeah, we'll talk about it a little later. I'm going to be posting all my life updates on social media at Danielle Banda TV. And if you ever need to get a hold of me through Brianna, she always is a text away. We're always talking, so good stuff. But for now, I guess we should do the show. I guess before we get started with the news, though, I got to ask you, what is the weather look like? I know you've been updating us all week long, but it is finally the weekend and people have things to do, Brianna. So.
Oh yes, either that's going out of town, packing.
Yep, moving U-Hauls.
Oh yes, it's very important to know what's going on this weekend because weather is actually going to be a little active. And when I say that, I'm just talking about rain and storms, but not necessarily for this morning. All of that's going to come later on today. So if you're just waking up, you are waking up to temperatures in the 70s. So right now in Brownsville, the current temperature is 73, Harlingen 70, McAllen 73 as well, and La Jolla 71 under mostly clear skies. And getting a close look on radar, like I said, just dry conditions, maybe a few isolated showers within Willacy County and maybe slightly north and along the coast. But remember, the rain and the storms are going to come later on today and will continue for the rest of the weekend. And rain chances are a little bit elevated. So remember, today and tomorrow are going to be the best chances for rain. And those rain chances will continue as we head into next work week. But they're not going to be as elevated. And we're going to see slightly cooler temperatures because of the rain, because of the cloud cover. So we could have temperatures slightly below average for this time of year. We'll take a closer look and track it all out during your full forecast in just a couple minutes. Danielle, back to you.
Thank you, Brianna. Well, happening today, Vice President Kamala Harris travels to battleground Michigan after making a pitch to Republicans and independent voters alongside Republican Liz Cheney in Wisconsin. Now, former President Donald Trump heads back to Georgia for another tour of the damage that was caused by Hurricane Helene after rallying supporters in Michigan. Alice Barr has the very latest.
Former President Trump heads to Georgia today to again survey devastation from Hurricane Helene as Vice President Harris travels to Michigan after rallying in Wisconsin alongside former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
I have never voted for a Democrat, but this year I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Cheney voted to impeach former President Trump over his role in the January 6th Capitol attack. Vice President Harris appealing to other Republicans to back her, arguing the former president cannot be trusted.
He who violated the oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. And make no mistake, he who, if given the chance, would violate it again.
That after a new special counsel court filing asserts former President Trump should not be immune from prosecution for his efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss. The former president calls the filing political.
This was a weaponization of government.
Rallying in Michigan last night, he doubled down on false claims of a stolen election.
It was a rigged election. You have to tell Kamala Harris that's why I'm doing it again. If I thought I lost, I wouldn't be doing this again.
Voters divided.
I think Trump has destroyed the Republican Party.
Do you think that Liz Cheney speaks for the Republican Party?
No.
Absolutely not.
Americans weighing the impact of the last election as they prepare to vote in the next. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, the Harris campaign is launching digital ads aimed at potentially persuadable Republicans, while tomorrow former President Donald Trump returns to Butler, Pennsylvania to hold a rally at the same site of his attempted assassination in July. And new polling shows the United States Senate race in Texas is going to be tight. Colin Allred is trying to unseat incumbent Senator Ted Cruz. Big-name Democrats like Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez believe that Allred does have a chance to win. They are now urging the National Democratic Party to invest more to turn Texas blue. But over the last 3 presidential elections, Democrats have cut their margins by 10 points.
We don't think Texas is quite so red. We think Texas has huge potential to become a more progressive state. You have a lot of young people, you have a lot of working class people, you have a strong trade union movement, and I think people right now want to fight for a nation and a government that works for all and not just the few. That's what I'm seeing here in Texas.
While polls have shown a tight race, almost all of them still show Cruz is favored to win. And a big local race in the upcoming election is District 34 between Representative Vicente Gonzalez and former Congresswoman Mayra Flores. NBC 23 is hosting a debate with both candidates. It's the only debate between the two, and it is happening October the 17th from 7 to 8 p.m. Now, our NBC 23's Frank McCaffrey is going to be the host, and our colleagues at CBS 4, Daisy Martinez and Brian Svensson, will be the moderators. And in your Valley headlines, the man accused in the deadly library shooting in Brownsville will be formally charged next month. Humberto Paz was originally charged with murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for shooting Vahid Khaledi in the head. Now, investigators do say that the two men exchanged words prior to the shooting, and as of right now, the arraignment is scheduled for November the 7th. Paz remains in jail on a $3.7 million bond. And happening today, new witnesses are expected to testify in Salomon Campos's capital murder trial. Campos is accused of killing his uncle and well-known Harlingen attorney Ernesto El Gallito Gonzalez. So far, we've heard from law enforcement officials and Gonzalez's family. Gonzalez's son EJ described his testimony as a stressful and a horrible experience after he was questioned about disposing of evidence and collecting on his father's life insurance policy. NBC 23 will, of course, follow this trial until a verdict is reached, and will bring you everything on air and online at valleycentral.com.
I just want to make sure that Mr. Lara is held accountable for his actions. You know, he did take my daughter away from me and from our family.
Those were the words of a father who is seeking justice after he lost his daughter to a drunk driver. Hugo Lara is accused of driving the wrong way on the causeway and slamming head-on into Mariah Enriquez's car. Jorge Vela explains who else is being named in a lawsuit.
The driver, Hugo Lara, faces up to 20 years behind bars for his role in the crash that killed Mariah Desiree Enriquez. A blood alcohol content test conducted on Lara that night showed a result of almost 2.5 times more than the legal limit. Michael Moore, who represents Mariah's father, Guadalupe, says this is just one piece of the evidence that shows the bars that served Lara, Bar Louie and Tequila Sunset in South Padre Island, were at fault.
You don't let people get drunk at these bars. And if they get intoxicated, they need a ride home. You take the keys away or you call the police. And they're not doing that. Why are they not doing that? Because they're not being held accountable. And that's what this lawsuit's about.
Moore also wants the trial to be held quicker than the one-year average. He hopes the court moves it up to set an example on the issue of over-serving and fatal alcohol-related crashes in Texas. The attorney for Mariah's mother, Cynthia Hernandez, says they are working hard so the case moves forward.
So we're still in the discovery process. The next steps will be depositions. We want to take the depositions of the defendant, Hugo Lara. We want to take depositions of the bar managers involved, and we want to get ready to take this case to trial.
The attorneys hope to finish their depositions by January. Moore says the Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission is doing their own investigation on the bars. TABC Director of Communications Chris Porter says most establishments do follow rules and do not overserve. However, they do get involved when serious injury or death occurs.
The bar itself has a responsibility to ensure that its staff are doing the right things and that they have the training and are empowered to help avoid those deals. And then again, the bartender or the waiter, whoever serves the alcohol, could face possible misdemeanor criminal charges if it's found that they were the ones that conducted the sale on the back end.
Mariah's father says he's just looking for justice and to prevent the next tragedy from happening.
And that's what this case is about. It's not about the money. It's about making sure Mr. Lara pays and making sure that, you know, the word gets out that, you know, we shouldn't be drinking and driving.
That was our Jorge Vela reporting. The attorneys hope to begin the trial on the first week of March. Hugo Lara is charged with intoxication and manslaughter. Well, coming up, Richard Moore takes us out to explore the unique resakas that are right here in the RGV.
And coming up to your full forecast, we'll take a closer look at those temperatures for this afternoon, track out the rain, and get a closer on the tropics because the rain is coming in because of tropical development. All that and more coming up next.
My name is Monica de la Cruz, and I approve this message because the cost of groceries is getting way out of hand. Menos. Look, shopping for the family barbecue has gotten more expensive under Biden and Harris.
Poquito menos.
That's why I'm fighting to lower the cost of living, to help you pay a little less for groceries. I'm Monica de la Cruz, and I'll never stop fighting for your family. Hey! Or mine.
There's so many reasons to watch Kelly.
I can't even focus on what you're talking about right now.
It's all on the Kelly Clarkson Show. Count me in. Weekdays.
Watch The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 p.m.
Football is the game of life, and it brings a community together. White, black, boys, girls.
Flag, tackle. Football can revive communities.
That's why I think, football is on the right path.
Community with football is very accepting and loving to people who enjoy the sport. Win or lose, they do it as a family.
Well, the lower Rio Grande Valley is home to an iconic system of waterways found nowhere else in Texas. Richard Moore takes us out to explore the unique resakas of the RGV.
In the rich dawn light, billowing fall clouds are mirrored in placid waters of a South Texas resaca as a foursome of ducks languidly paddle toward rising sun. Resakas, vestiges from ancient meanderings of a once mighty Rio Grande, which in Texas are found only in the Rio Grande Valley, wind through towns and remnant wildlands, primarily in Cameron County. These distributaries, or parts of the Rio Grande that branched off and flowed away centuries ago, resulted from periodic flooding and changing course of the river. Depending on the interpretation you prefer, resaca is Spanish for vestige, or also hangover. Another version cites the contraction of the Spanish phrase Rio Seco, or dry river, or possibly stemming from the Spanish word resacar, to retake. Whatever the derivation, the lower valley's lovely resacas bestow a sense of place to the region, while beautifying the landscape and providing a flourishing ecosystem for wildlife. South Texas is home to 5 primary resaca systems: Resaca de los Fresnos in San Benito, Resaca de los Coates in Los Fresnos, Resaca del Rancho Viejo, and Resaca de la Palma in and around Brownsville, and Town Resaca in the heart of downtown Brownsville. The valley's resacas vary in size and shape, from oxbow lakes to long, narrow channels, and together encompass some 250 river miles. While resacas were created naturally, they are now human-maintained, with water pumped from the river through a series of canals. Utilized for irrigation, flood control, and suburban enhancement, they also host a variety of wildlife, from alligators to alligator gar. Throughout the year, valley resacas are home to abundant waterfowl, like this family of whistling ducks, an array of wading birds, such as the great egret. This time of year, local resacas host flocks of migrating white pelicans that grace the waterways with their immaculate plumage. And what better way to start the day than with the beautiful sunrise on a Rio Grande Valley resaca? With your outdoor report, I'm Richard Moore.
Hey, happy Friday, Valley. We finally made it to the weekend, and before we get a closer look at what you can expect weather-wise, let's get an update on the tropics, because what's going on in the Gulf, it could impact us when I'm talking about rain and storms as we head toward the weekend. So for right now, we're getting a close look at Tropical Storm Leslie in the Atlantic. Now, Leslie is going to continue to strengthen and track further west and eventually curve slightly north. And right alongside Leslie is Hurricane Cork, now a Category 4 hurricane. This is technically our second Category 4 hurricane in the season. The first one was Helene, which made landfall last week in Florida. Now, Kirk is not going to impact anyone or any landmass. It's going to continue to track further north into the Atlantic. So this is actually really good news for a lot of us. So again, these two systems we're not really concerned about because it's not going to impact us because it's very far away. However, another area that the National Hurricane Center and us have been keeping a close eye on is in the Gulf of Mexico. It's right here, and the National Hurricane Center has increased its chances for further development now to a 40%. But it's been back and forth these last couple days. It's been been shifting from 30% to 40%, but nonetheless, we're just expecting disorganized showers and storms within this area, which could impact a lot of areas within the Gulf Coast, such as Florida, Louisiana, and even us here in the Rio Grande Valley. And that is the reason why we have elevated rain chances for today and for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and track everything out. As we continue into the morning hours, a few isolated showers will start to filter in, but it's not going to be until the afternoon and early evening where more activity will start to come in and become a little bit more scattered or widely scattered. So if you have plans for Friday night, make sure that you are giving yourself some extra time before heading out the door, possibly reschedule, and make sure that you are packing the rain gear because the heavier stuff is going to come in as we head into early Saturday morning. So again, just make sure that you are keeping a close eye on radar, especially if you have any weekend plans.
Thanks, Brianna. Well, coming up, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley is receiving a significant amount of money to use for cancer research. More when we return.
Something monumental, covering all things football, is coming. Football's newest show breaks down all things NFL, from the plays to the players, from camp to kickoff, and everything in between, all year long. GMFB Overtime. It's football for everyone.
Today at 9 a.m. on KGVT 4.1. Always innovating. Now Valley Central unveils Los Breves, providing up-to-the-minute news in Espanol all day, every weekday. While other news sites charge for news, Valley Central's Los Breves gives you the news in Espanol the way you want it, fast and free. Click on Los Breves, now streaming in Espanol on Valley Central. Powered by these sponsors. Log on to see Los Breves today.
Climate change, vulnerable neighborhoods, threatened ecosystems. Our challenges demand we do better, and a tree can be an answer. Because a tree can be innovative, it can be unifying, it can be a home. Now is the time for trees. Let's plant millions of trees together.
Well, UTRGV is receiving some major funding for new cancer research. Reporter Blake Brown spoke with doctors and local leaders on their goals for a cancer care center in the Valley.
I've had friends and family who have been touched by this horrible disease. I think most of us have had a friend or a family member diagnosed with cancer, and I was shocked to hear the statistics.
Congressman Vicente Gonzalez extended his support for the new research, which will look for more early signs or biomarkers of cancers in the lower abdomen. Dr. Sabesh Chauhan with UTRGV says we're seeing more cases like these in the Valley due to risk factors like diabetes and poor diets.
So now this is a risk factor. Diabetes is a risk factor for cancer. We recently recognized diabetes and stress, like long-term socio-psychological stress.
He explains these kinds of cancers are especially dangerous because they're elusive and hard to diagnose, adding that one diagnosis is often followed by another.
So it's all one axis. So pancreas is one. If your liver is messed up, then pancreas is going to mess up too. And once pancreas is messed up, then the kind of cancer it causes, it's really, really very terrible cancer. So we are working very hard on pancreatic cancer as well.
He and Congressman Gonzalez not only want to make cancer treatment available locally, but also help add to Latino cancer statistics.
But when you review the research, you'll find that Latinos are underrepresented in cancer registries and research clinical trials, and we actually suffer a higher rate of cancer than the rest of the population in the country.
The nearly $18.5 million grant from the National Institute of Health is going to research at the new Cancer and Surgery Center, which is expected to finish construction in 2025. For NBC 23 in the city of Edinburgh, I'm Blake Brown.
Thank you, Blake. Well, researchers in China studied data from more than 500,000 people. They discovered drinking coffee, 3 cups of coffee per day specifically, lowered the risk of heart disease and stroke by almost 50%. They say it's because drinking coffee appears to lower a type of bad cholesterol, which is linked to heart disease. Of course, moderation is key. Researchers say drinking more than 4 cups of coffee per day could actually increase the risk of heart disease.
The gas station is getting an EV makeover. See the recharging station with fancy food, a lounge, clean restrooms, and much more. I'm Rich DeMuro. That's coming up in Rich on Tech.
Well, it is Friday, and a lot of us know that means it's Friday Night Football. And if you are planning to go to some of the games tonight, this is what you can expect. Right at kickoff, the temperature is going to be 82 degrees, and we could still have some scattered showers and storms. So don't be surprised if the game gets delayed just because of the lightning. And make sure to pack your rain gear and give yourself some extra time before heading out to the games.
Access to affordable health care is a quality of life issue. So when Adam Hinojosa opposes Medicaid expansion for working families, you have to ask yourself, whose side is he on? He thinks it's okay for insurance companies to deny coverage to people with pre-existing conditions, and even wants to allow them to cut off patients who need more care. That's just offensive. The people of this district deserve someone who will fight for them, not a yes man for health insurance companies.
Something monumental, covering all things football, is coming. Football's newest show breaks down all things NFL, from the plays to the players, from camp to kickoff, and everything in between, all year long. GMFB Overtime. It's football for everyone.
Today at 9 a.m. on KGVT 4.1.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy.
Watch Jeopardy weekdays at 5 p.m. on NBC 23.
To know what my patients are experiencing.
Stop making decisions that hurt this hospital.
There's a method to my madness. Are you with me or not?
Brilliant Minds, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Money, greed, jealousy.
It was a little bit of a web to untangle.
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
He was actively planning to kill you.
That's crazy. That's stuff that you see on TV.
Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
Well, the Biden administration's student loan cancellation plan is put on hold again. A federal judge in Missouri put a temporary hold on the plan after a judge in Georgia decided not to extend a separate order blocking the plan. Now, it has been on hold since September when 6 states filed a lawsuit arguing that the president overstepped his legal authority. The plan would cancel up to $20,000 in interest for some borrowers and provide relief for those who have been repaying their loans for 20 or 25 years. And Tesla is recalling more Cybertrucks, but this time for a camera visibility issue. The company says that a software glitch could cause the rearview mirror display screen to remain blank for up to 8 seconds when the truck is put in reverse. Now, if your truck is experiencing this issue, you can download a free software update. This is the 5th recall involving Cybertrucks in less than a year. And when you hear gas station, you expect to pull up to the pump and pay for liquid gas. But there's a new type of gas station that's all for EVs. Rich DeMuro explains in today's Rich on Tech.
There's fish jerky and fresh sushi, but no gas at this station.
And then I will go ahead and just plug right in. I'll hear it click.
Rove is a company building a first-of-its-kind public charging station. Think gas station, but for EVs.
Despite all the spending and excitement about EV growth and EV infrastructure,
there's much more we need to do.
Located in Santa Ana, Rove has everything you need to relax and recharge.
We also will have service staff on site and security at night, so you know you'll be safe, you know you'll get help if you can't get the charger to work or you don't understand how it works.
There are 40 fast chargers for all EV brands, free Wi-Fi in the lounge, clean restrooms, and even a car wash.
Do you think you have enough drinks? There's so many.
But it's the high-end convenience store operated by the premium grocery retailer Gelson's that might make you want to stay a while.
I mean, when was the last time you saw maple glazed and smoked salmon bites at the gas station?
We really wanted to focus on premium and healthy options for the customer, right? The unique experience of charging a car versus going to the gas station. They have a little more time to potentially make better choices.
There's a much larger selection than you typically find on the road, including candy, protein bars, household staples, freshly prepared items like sandwiches, cut fruit, and of course, coffee.
Well, if you're going to be on a road trip, you have to have coffee, and this machine makes it on demand.
We have solar panels as our canopy.
Rove reflects the changing nature of transit. Not everyone can charge EVs at home or work, and on the road can still be hit or miss.
By building out the public charging network, it's giving people the confidence that they're going to be able to charge their car and be able to get to where they need to go.
Pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, I don't know much about those EVs and stuff,
And
but
then
I'm
me neither.
learning.
I'm not there yet either. Good for everyone who does.
Good for you guys.
Who's on that train.
Yeah, for sure. Good for you and good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on NBC 23. I'm Danielle Banda.
And I'm meteorologist Brandon Medina.
And you're smiling, which is good because it's World Smile Day.
Really?
Yes, I'm so happy about this. Actually, one of our coworkers, Craig, has a tie today with a bunch of smiley faces on. So
Oh, did he know that it was
I don't
national?
know, but that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So yeah, wherever you go, I do believe smiles are contagious. So wherever you go, try to smile a little extra bright today, and I'm pretty sure you'll get a smile back at you. Otherwise, that'd be weird.
There's also a scary movie called Smile. Have you seen it?
No.
It's kind of creepy.
But why did you have to bring that up?
I'm so sorry.
Okay, well,
I just thought.
Can you change the subject?
Okay, let's go on to viewer comments.
Okay, that's happy.
Yes, it is happy. Well, it's a little sad.
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yeah. Okay, so our first viewer comment is from Thelma.
Oh, yes.
Yes, our frequent commenter. We haven't heard from her in a while.
Yeah.
But she said, Danielle, may God be with you in every step you take toward your new journey. It was my pleasure seeing you during the early morning news. Your beautiful smile and kind heart plus extraordinary talent will open bigger and better doors for you as it's doing right now. Stay kind.
Oh my goodness.
I told you.
Thank you for taking the time.
And then our next one is Cepeda. He also put, good morning, ladies. Happy Friday. And wishing Danielle Banda the best of luck in her new journey. Sad to see her go. With a sad, crying cat, which is me.
That's you.
That's me.
Okay. It's okay. Oh, I love
sad.
this.
Yes.
You know, I need a moment to collect myself because I know there's a lot of viewer comments.
Yes.
So give me a moment to cry. You can do the weather or something.
Okay, yes. Well, the weather's also going to cry because we're going to get rain.
Oh, boy.
Yes, Mother Nature is sending you tears, Danielle. Yes, but not necessarily for this morning. This morning we are waking up to mostly dry conditions, except for a few showers just along the coast. But right now temperatures are pretty pleasant. In Brownsville, the temperature is 73, Wesco 72, and Rio Grande City 70 degrees under mostly clear skies. But getting a closer look at radar, like I said, mostly dry conditions, except for a few spots near Willacy County just along the coast. And then as we continue into the mid-morning hours and pretty much the entire day, we'll have multiple rounds of isolated to scattered showers, and that's going to be the trend as we head toward the weekend as well, because today and tomorrow are going to be our best chances for rain, about a 50 to a 60% coverage. And then as we head toward next work week, those rain chances start to decrease, but we are keeping a close eye on a possible front that's going to be making its way a little bit close to the Rio Grande Valley. Now there's still debate on whether it's going to push completely across the Rio Grande Valley, but nonetheless it is a weak front, so it's not really going to do that much for us. But what is going to do a lot for us is going to be the rain for these next couple days. It's going to help keep those temperatures a little bit cooler and possibly below average for this time of year. We'll take a closer look at your full forecast in just a couple minutes. Danielle?
Thank you, Brianna. Well, the death toll from Hurricane Helene continues to rise 1 week after the storm swept through the southeast. As of this morning, at least 215 people have died, and that number is likely to keep going up. Helene now has the deadliest hurricane title to hit the mainland United States since Katrina almost 2 decades ago. More than half of the victims are from the Carolinas. The heavily damaged mountain communities are still cut off from the outside, so rescue crews are forced to fly deliver supplies via helicopter.
There has been a lot of search and rescue in this area. I know it's been very difficult for them to get up here, and this is one of the areas they're saying still needs a lot of supplies to get moved in.
Officials say it could be weeks before power and utilities are restored in some of the mountain communities. And coming up on the Today Show, the crew is live in Asheville, North Carolina. Al Roker is there lending a hand to the community after the city was devastated, of course, by Hurricane Helene. Here's Al with a little preview of what it takes to get food and water to the folks who need help.
Coming up on Today, we're in western North Carolina, where they've been so hard hit. We're in a staging area for search and rescue teams from all over the country working under the auspices of FEMA. We'll have an exclusive interview with the FEMA administrator, and we'll show you what food banks are doing trying to help their fellow citizens. All that and more coming up on Today.
Thank you. You can watch the relief effort right after NBC 23. That coverage begins at 7 a.m. And our parent company, Nexstar Media, is doing its part to help those affected by Helene. We're offering support to the American Red Cross, which is already making efforts to help storm victims in the area. Now, if you'd like to make a donation, you can do so using the QR code on your screen or by visiting valleycentral.com. And happening today, thousands of dock workers are heading back to work after reaching a tentative agreement on pay. The International Longshoremen's Association and the United States Maritime Alliance said both sides reached a tentative agreement on pay and agreed to extend their current contract until January the 15th. Now, employers have agreed to a 62% pay hike, up from their initial offer of 50%. The conflict over automation is still under negotiation. And Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing TikTok for sharing and selling minors' personal information. The lawsuit alleges that TikTok violated a new state law that looks to protect kids who are active on social media. A TikTok spokesperson denied Paxton's allegations, pointing to online information about how parents in certain states, including Texas, can contact TikTok to request that their teen's account is deleted. And the Biden administration will not be extending the legal status of Venezuelan migrants who were a part of a sponsorship program. Now, this program was first launched in 2022 to offer Venezuelans a legal way to enter the U.S. if America sponsored them. Now, it was later expanded to include Cuba, Haiti, and Nicaragua, and they were granted permission to live and to work for 2 years here in the States. But Homeland Security has decided against parole extensions, as the first group of Venezuelans are set to lose their status later this month. It is unclear how DHS is going to handle the Cubans at this time, as well as Haitians and Nicaraguans in this same program. And former McAllen City Manager Roy Rodriguez will chair the new South Texas Water Working Group. The group of Valley leaders is trying to find solutions to the drought and lack of water from Mexico. Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz formed the group in August. She says that they're already behind the curve.
You know, we have to worry about this every several years, about the availability of water for the Rio Grande Valley, and not to mention how much the Rio Grande Valley is growing. So it's very important that we focus on this issue and we come up with real solutions.
Earlier this year, the sugar mill in Hidalgo County shut down because of a lack of water to grow the crops. A part of the reason is Mexico has not paid its annual water payments to the United States, which is part of a 1944 water treaty. Now, Mexico has paid less than a quarter of what it owes, so Rodriguez says that they have to look at other options like desalination from the Gulf.
I'm glad that you decided to do this interview here, because that source of water right next to us someday is going to be used for drinking water. There is just very little doubt in my mind. What I continue to hear is it's very expensive to treat seawater. I know that, but At what point is too expensive too expensive? Is it when we run out of water? And so we have to be looking at all of the alternatives.
Other solutions include groundwater treatment and more drip water technology. But the group is going to need state and federal funds. You can read more about this story on borderreport.com.
And coming up during your full forecast, we'll take a closer look at those conditions for this afternoon and going into the weekend, because we have rain chances sticking around, which is going to help with those temperatures. We're going to see temperatures a little bit cooler than what we've had these last couple of days. All that and more coming up next.
Looking for a new best friend? Find them on NBC 23's Pet of the Week, Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. We will feature adoptable cats and dogs of all sizes and breeds. Pet of the Week is sponsored by the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation.
Something monumental, covering all things football, is coming. Football's newest show breaks down all things NFL, from the plays to the players, from camp to kickoff, and everything in between, all year long. GMFB Overtime. It's football for everyone.
Today at 9 a.m. on KGVT 4.1.
At Loaves and Fishes of the Rio Grande Valley, we break down barriers to provide help and hope to our community by providing vital services, including hot meals at our Bread of Life dining hall, emergency assistance, and job training at our New Hope Job Shop. We also provide a welcoming shelter and a food pantry for those in need. Hope and help are just a step away. Visit lfrgv.org to learn more. Celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. The history. La cultura. Pasión. Orgullo. Join us as we celebrate the many contributions of our Hispanic communities. Celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
Watch Celebrating Hispanic Heritage in the Valley Sunday at noon on NBC 23. Watch Ruben Juarez and Blake Holland on NBC 23 Sports.
While at a rally yesterday in Wisconsin, Vice President Kamala Harris officially picked up the endorsement of former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney. Former President Donald Trump was also on the campaign trail in the battleground state of Michigan. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson joins us now with more. Good morning, Rashad.
Hey Danielle, good morning to you. The two have never been seen on the same page when it comes to politics, except for now. Liz Cheney in the past has referred to Vice President Harris as a radical liberal. Now Cheney says she's all in for Harris. This Republican says she's never voted for a Democrat before until now.
I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former Wyoming Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney officially backed Vice President Kamala Harris for president.
Liz Cheney really is a leader who puts country above party and above self.
Cheney was the top GOP member of the committee that investigated the January 6th Capitol attack.
Violence does not and must never determine who rules us. Voters do. And we are going to get back to a healthy two-party system, I am sure of that, where we will have vigorous debates.
Thank you very much.
Former President Donald Trump spent Thursday campaigning in the battleground state of Michigan.
We are going to defeat Lion Kamala Harris, one of the worst candidates ever.
Trump also took a swing at Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's debate performance this week.
He called himself knucklehead. We don't want a knucklehead as a president.
Tomorrow, Trump will return to the site of that July attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. Danielle?
Thank you, Rashad. Well, I do understand that you have some new reporting on former President Obama this morning. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Just this morning, the Harris campaign announced that former President Barack Obama will be hitting the campaign trail for her, and his first event is next Thursday in Pittsburgh.
All right, thank you so much, Rashad Hudson, reporting live in Washington, D.C. Well, this weekend on Inside Valley Politics, we speak with United States congressional candidate Michelle Vallejo. Vallejo is a Democrat in District 15 who, according to a recent federal election, commission filing has raised around $1.3 million. We asked if she is concerned about the amount her opponent has raised.
The incumbent here, Monica De La Cruz, has over $5 million. Have you found that tough to compete against? Is she spending a lot that's making it difficult for your campaign? You know, we're staying focused on our race more than anything, and we're making sure that our voters know that while Monica is in Congress right now, she's proven to actually turn her back to South Texas families.
We also spoke with Stark County GOP Chairwoman Tony Trevino, who says she has been monitoring the race between De La Cruz and Vallejo. Trevino seems confident in a De La Cruz win.
Monica won by over 9 points in 2022. She's poised to win again in this election. And let me tell you, her supporters are really activated.
Valley Politics airs Sundays at 9 a.m. on NBC 23. And today is the last day to register to vote for the November elections. The last day to apply to vote by mail is October the 25th. Now, early voting runs from October the 21st through November the 1st, and you can check your voter registration status at votetexas.gov.
Hey, good morning, Valley, and happy Friday. We finally made it to the weekend, and we've been talking about the rain for quite some time, and it's finally here. So as we head into the mid-morning hours, a few more showers and storms will start to filter in, but it's still going to be isolated in nature. It's not going to be until the afternoon and early evening where more rain and storms will start to filter in, and will continue into the overnight hours. So if you have Friday night plans, make sure that you are keeping a close eye on radar. Make sure that you are giving yourself some extra time before heading out the door and packing the rain gear, because you're definitely going to need it, especially as we head into early Saturday. That's when the heavier stuff is going to start filtering in and continue as we head into the following work week. However, next week conditions will look a little bit nicer. We are going to have dry conditions and temperatures a little bit closer to average for this time of year. And the rain and the storms that filter in are just general thunderstorms for the entire Rio Grande Valley all the way until Sunday. So we're not really concerned with any severe threat, but we could hear rumbles of thunder, see some lightning strikes, maybe experience some gusty winds, but like I said, nothing to really worry about. However, there could be some minor flooding, especially within the lower valley and along the coast, and that's just because that's the area that's going to get most of the rain for these next couple days. So within that area, they could see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, but of course, isolated totals could be possible. And then as we track further west into the upper valley, even lower rainfall totals, so lower coverage, but nonetheless, if you have plans for the weekend, or if you're going to be doing some commuting around the Rio Grande Valley, take those extra precautions. But like I said, as we head toward next work week, those rain chances start to decrease, and then we'll eventually dry out and have those temperatures a little bit closer to average, so back into the low 90s under mostly sunny skies.
Access to affordable health care is a quality of life issue. So when Adam Hinojosa opposes Medicaid expansion for working families, you have to ask yourself, whose side is he on? He thinks it's okay for insurance companies to deny coverage to people with pre-existing conditions, and even wants to allow them to cut off patients who need more care. That's just offensive. The people of this district deserve someone who will fight for them, not a yes man for health insurance companies.
Something monumental, covering all things football, is coming. Football's newest show breaks down all things NFL, from the plays to the players, from camp to kickoff, and everything in between, all year long. GMFB Overtime. It's football for everyone.
Today at 9 a.m. on KGVT 4.1.
There's so many reasons to watch Kelly.
I can't even focus on what you're talking about right now.
It's all on the Kelly Clarkson Show. Count me in. Weekdays.
Watch the Kelly Clarkson Show weekdays at 3 p.m.
Got a 10
Valley crimes still unsolved years later.
-1019.
Visit valleycentral.com to see if your lead can help solve the case. RGV True Crime Series, exclusively on valleycentral.com.
Watch Ruben Juarez and Blake Holland on NBC 23 Sports. You're watching NBC 23.
Living in the Valley is unique. Border towns all over the Valley unite two cultures, two countries. This morning, as a sharing of twin brothers showing perseverance living in Matamoros but playing football and going to school in Brownsville. Valley Sports Central Sam Rabati brings us the unique sports story that no border knows.
If you want something bad enough, you'll do whatever it takes.
I mean, it's tiring. I have to wake up. Today I have to wake up at 5 so I can get here early, right? We're starting practice at 6:45, right?
Manny and Danny Olvera are twin brothers and both play on the defensive line. Their passion for football knows no borders.
If I take a bus, an hour drive from my house to the bridge, and then just wait till they open the bridge, and that's basically it. So in the morning there's not a lot of line, so just drop me off, and that's it, man. I'm here.
The Olveras live in Mexico but make the journey to football practice and school.
My friend comes like every day, pick us up, and he don't ask for gas money, so we said that we're gonna buy some scooters so he cannot waste that much gas.
Their commitment hasn't gone unnoticed.
Every season waves at them, but it shows a lot as an adult of the dedication as young men they have for what they want, and they have a drive to come through with what they want.
Manny and Danny were born just 1 minute apart, but the inseparable twins would eventually get separated for 4 years.
It was really hard because I didn't got nobody like to be with, like to play with or to talk to with, and he was really far.
One brother lived with family in Houston, the other with family in North Carolina.
And I told him like I can be with my mom now because I was already 15, so I can be crossing the bridge every day. And that's when I told him to come with me to live with my mom, and that's when it started, like bonding again.
The twins reunited in high school. That brotherly love will deepen further when they line up next to one another for their senior season.
It will be great because it was gonna be our first time playing together, and if we win, it will be the first win.
I mean, it's gonna be great. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Hope we make tackles together, basically for our family.
Eventually, their journeys might go in separate directions as each has different goals for life after Porter. But one thing they will always remain: brothers. Reporting in Brownsville, Sam Rabati, Valley Sports Central.
Thank you, Sam. Well, NBC 23 is taking a road trip this afternoon for high school football. Corpus Christi Flower Bluff will travel to Weslaco to take on the Weslaco East Wildcats. We'll broadcast our evening newscasts live from the stadium. Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m.
Maria, Devin, Jason here with you. In Week 5, we get the Steelers and the Cowboys, who are sitting at 2-2 and looking to make it a winning record.
Yeah, right here you have just a classic matchup. Two teams. We love to watch this kind of game. You circle this on the calendar beginning of the season. I want to see if this Pittsburgh Steelers can now go run the ball on the Dallas Cowboys defense like everyone else has.
Well, Dallas got better defending the run against the Giants, but they've lost two of their best defensive players, DeMarcus Lawrence. Micah Parsons is questionable for this ball game, so it's going to be a real task. They want to play a physical style of football in Pittsburgh. It'll be a great test for the Cowboys D.
Yep, Steelers getting off of their last win and first of the season. We'll see if they can make good against the Cowboys. Our coverage will start at 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock.
All right, well, happening today, the Mission Fire Department is going to host a fire prevention festival. The event will help kick off Fire Prevention Week, which will start on Monday. The festival will have games, food, goodie bags, and so much more. And you'll be able to learn all about smoke alarms and how they keep you safe. The event will start at 6 p.m. and last until 8 at the Leo Peña Placita Park. And this is free for you to attend. The VA, is going to host a Women's Veterans Health and Benefits Fair. But for now, before I tell you details about that, we're going to go ahead and check in with meteorologist Brianna Medina.
Hey, thanks, Danielle. Well, before we go, here's a closer look at what you can expect for these next 3 days. Now, we're going to have rain. We're going to have those temperatures a little bit cooler than what we've been experiencing and cooler than average for this time of year. And I'm talking about most of us reaching the upper 80s for tomorrow because our rain chances are going to be a little bit higher than today. Don't go anywhere. NBC 23 at 6 o'clock starts in just a few minutes.
Around here, family and community come first. As your state representative, I'm committed to protecting our values. That's why I've been working hard in Austin to support our local economy, secure funding for our schools and teachers, and ensure law enforcement has the tools they need to keep us safe. Together, we've accomplished so much, but there's still work to be done. I'm Janie Lopez, and I'll always put our community first.
Something monumental, covering all things football, is coming. Football's newest show breaks down all things NFL, from the plays to the players, from camp to kickoff, and everything in between, all year long. GMFB Overtime. It's football for everyone.
Today at 9 a.m. on KGVT 4.1.
Football is the game of life, and it brings a community together. White, black, boys, girls.
Flag, tackle. Football can revive communities.
That's why I think, football is on the right path.
Community with football is very accepting and loving to people who enjoy the sport.
Win or lose, they do it as a family.
Well, the movie Rust, starring Alec Baldwin, is set to be released, and rock and roll legends Motley Crue have a new announcement for their fans. A lot going on in the world of entertainment, so here's Jeremy Parsons with all your details.
Guys, the Western Rust that gained national attention for the shooting death of a cinematographer on set now has a release date. Back in October of 2021, you'll remember actor Alec Baldwin was pointing a gun at cinematographer Helena Hutchins during rehearsals when the revolver went off, killing her and injuring director Joel Souza. The armorer on set was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and is currently serving her prison sentence. Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter charge was dismissed. Well, now the Western is set to debut at Camera Image Film Festival in Poland. Organizers say after the screening, there will be a panel discussing the tragic event on set and how production continued afterward. Souza, the director injured on the set, will be on that panel. Camera Image Festival will run between November 16th and 23rd. Now on to some exciting music news. These rock and roll legends who have sold over 100 million albums are returning to the Vegas Strip. Yes, Motley Crue announced a new residency in Vegas coming next spring. It's their third Vegas residency. The show will take fans all the way back to their gritty rock beginnings, all the way up through their record-breaking stadium tour. Motley Crue also has a new EP called Canceled. It drops tomorrow. City Card members will have access to pre-sale tickets to that Vegas show tomorrow. Ticketmaster will have tickets for other dates on October 11th. And a magazine that normally celebrates celebrities, but today they are celebrating the women who raised some of the biggest stars today. This is the cover of Glamour magazine. That is Beyonce, Selena Gomez, Billie Eilish, and Travis and Jason Kelce's moms, all in that group there. And they are all talking about how they keep their kids grounded despite their amazing success.
Yeah, you step on stage in front of 10 to 100,000 people, and that's an hour and a half, you know? And then the rest of the time you're at the dinner table and your brother's giving you, you know what I mean? And so I think that the family part is the part that keeps it sane.
Yeah, trying to keep kids grounded when they do get to that stage is, I think if you just bring things that they did when they were children to just show them that they're like everybody else. How many broken windows there were, how many times I had a call from the neighbor, or, you know, just silly stuff. They weren't mean children or bad children, it's just that they were very rambunctious.
Good stuff there. That is your entertainment report in Hollywood. I'm Jeremy Parsons.
All right, lots going on in entertainment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll have to check out some of those films and keep up to date with the behind-the-scenes stuff. But for now, thanks for keeping up to date with us here on NBC 23. So good morning, good to have you guys here with us. I'm Danielle Banda.
And I'm meteorologist Brandon Medina.
Yep, and I have your National Day.
Ooh.
It is the National Body Language Day. So just be mindful of your body language. Sometimes you don't even know what vibe you're giving. You know, maybe sometimes I'm like this with Brianna, kind of just slouching on my phone, and then I'm like, oh, good morning, Brianna, and she may think I'm disinterested or something, but I'm not. I'm just tired.
Yeah, that is very true. You never know. You never know what someone's going through or what someone's thinking or feeling, and it's all about body language and those social cues.
Just sit up here for a sec.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. Or sometimes it's the opposite, right? Maybe I'm just like this, and Brianna thinks I'm open to talking, but really I'm just, I don't know.
You're pondering in thought. You're like pondering stuff. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of examples. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just be mindful of your body language.
Yes, yeah. But I think we're very aware of social cues.
Yeah.
I think a lot of TV people are.
Yeah, I would say so. And I feel like we're going to do a lot of hugging today because it's my last day, but we're not going to talk about it right now. It was what popped in my head. I had to say it. Body language, hugging, handshaking, you know, give a firm handshake.
Yes,
handshake someone.
that's what,
But not too firm because it hurts. I've been there on the other side. It's
Me too, yes. But that shows like someone's dominant.
Yeah.
That they do that on purpose, which I hate that, but...
Yeah, I know. And, you know, we actually have a lot of body language with our hands, right?
I talk a lot with my hands, yes.
And when you're at the weather wall.
Yes, I talk so much with my hands. And honestly, sometimes when I don't have the clicker in my hand and I'm just like talking or I'm out in the field or whatever, I move my hands a lot because I don't know what to do without the clicker.
Right? Me too. I have the teleprompter remote. I'm like...
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to use this to point to you so you can use your clicker to give us the weather. And Brianna, go.
Okay, conditions are pretty decent for this morning. However, later today, we're going to have some rain, we're going to have some storms, and that's going to help with those temperatures be much cooler than these last couple of days. So if you're just waking up, you're waking up temperatures in the 70s. So pretty pleasant overall under mostly clear skies. But then as we head into the mid-morning hours, that is when a few isolated showers will filter in. And that's going to be the trend for today, isolated to scattered showers, but coverage is much higher today than yesterday and the day before. And then as we head towards Saturday, even higher rain coverage is expected, about a 60%. And those rain chances will continue as we head into